This is Mark B. Goodson. Today I am going to introduce you to my palette station. I call it a palette station. It could be my easel. It could be my business center, which is really what it is. But I call it my palette station. So let's have a look. All right, it's a tall easel. I build it pretty much based on standard easels construction style. It's just larger. I built this with 2x4s, cut some of them in half after I drilled the holes. But you're going to see there's a lot to this that hopefully will benefit you in some way. So you can see each of these vertical boards have been drilled 3 inches apart, lots of holes. And then I've taken from an antique store, I purchased these little, I don't know what they're called, but they were on power lines long ago. And I just painted the heads kind of a copper color so I could get the idea of glass, metal, and wood all together on my easel station. So there it is, pretty big. Now, rather than having a table set next to my easel, I just built this bridge across it. Let's see if we can tell. Let me get around this side. This is actually built in so that this arm that comes up holds my shelf bridge. And then it comes back and connects and goes on up as part of my easel, which is nice. It keeps me from having anything to stumble across or legs or anything like that. However, it's something I anticipate altering in the future when I build my next one of these, because I'd like to be able to roll it out of the way and get all the way my canvas completely exposed to me in my painting. Sometimes a big canvas, it's nice to have access to the entire canvas. So we can see that I have little shelves off the edge. Here I'm keeping a little bit of odorless mineral spirits, some of my linseed oil, sun-thickened linseed oil from Grumbacher. A tape measure is always handy to have around, a couple of extra little cups, my oiling out and my motor oil. And here's my 4 cups for cleaning my brushes. They're odorless mineral spirits and the sun-thickened linseed oil. Extra pair of glasses because that's the strength of glass that helps me when I'm painting. Here's my stack of paper towels for cleaning my brush as I go, or my palette knife, or my palette surface. Here's my keyboard. I often will put that just right there. My next edition of this will have a little shelf right under here so I can set my keyboard and mouse there. But for now, we'll just set it there. Of course, it holds my palette and my brushes right here. And then I have tissues, kind of handy to have tissues around. A little bottle to hold some pencils. I'm using this clamp because I need to hold this shelf. This shelf is removable. I can keep these bookshelves, if you will, attached to the easel and remove this bridge. I can just set it out of the way. So in a way I can get to my full canvas, but I have to take something apart. It'd be easier to just roll it out of the way. I've got a little table here, my square reader. I don't have my iPad in there at the moment, but just handy for making sales. And then I keep these little notepads around so that I can take notes if I want something comes up, I want to make a note of it. And then I had these little cards printed. I like to listen to audiobooks, things that are inspiring to me that help me to become more than I am. And I had these printed so I could give them to people that come into my studio, especially young people, help them get inspired in their life. I have some pens, markers, easy access for when I need them. It's just kind of handy. So then I have this wonderful post here. which goes from floor to ceiling. And you can see I've screwed it right into the floor for stability. And then the extension cord goes on over and gets plugged in over there. But this is the only plug-in I need. It comes up and plugs into this power strip, into which my computer is plugged, as well as my square reader, and that goes on across the back of my pallet station bridge and over to the square. And then I've got a couple of extra plug-ins so that when I need to charge my phone, or I could charge my keyboard or my mouse, I've got those two there. And then this plug goes back up to my speakers so that I can listen to music a little louder on occasion when I want to. But a really nice inventive thing that happened, this is my Freedom extension arm that hooks my computer to my post, lets me swing it to where I need it for when I'm working, or swing it out of the way when I don't want it over my pallet station. So this shelf, this little really hefty duty shelf, is welded to a piece of tubing that's bigger than the tubing that the post is made out of, and it just slides right over it. And it's got a plate on the inside to which it's connected to this so that I can tighten this or loosen it. So if I loosen this, I could shift this down and I could move my computer to a lower level or a higher level wherever I wanted to. This is the height I like it at, so I've tightened it down, and then my Freedom arm post can be fastened to that nicely. And then the Freedom arm itself just slide down over that post. So in the event I want to take this home and work at home for a while, all I have to do is turn my computer off, unplug it, slide this Freedom arm up off this post, put my computer in my car, take it home, bring it back the next day. So also plugged into this power strip is the cord to another power strip, and it's up there. And to that power strip, into that I plug in the lights that I have over my easel. You can see they're not really sophisticated, just hardware clamp-on lights, but it just depends on what light bulb you put in them, how effective they are. So I put quite a few because I like my easel to be well lit, and my pallet table. You can see that some of these are warm and some of these are cool, the lights. And I like to do it that way because if I just use the white light, then I'm going to brighten everything, but the cool lights, or the warm lights, the yellower ones, they bring out the color in the paint, both on my palette and on whatever canvas I happen to be working on. So that's really handy to have the two different colors working for me all the time. And then I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so you can see that at the top of this post, there's a plate that can be screwed to the ceiling, but it's not fastened to this main post. It slides down inside, and it has some length to it, so that if I have a different ceiling height, I can slide that either higher or lower depending on the situation for the ceiling height in relationship to the height of this overall post, which I really like because I've had it adjusted a few times. This building was recently remodeled and sheetrock was put onto the ceiling, and so my ceiling height became less, and I just adjusted that insert. Okay, now one of the reasons I can call this my business center, and get that computer out of the way, is because of what I keep on the shelves. Well, before I get to that, I'm going to show you something else. So let's move this palette for a moment, and I'm going to grab this canvas, put it on here. So you can see that works very fine. I can move it up or down. If the canvas is much larger, I just can adjust it just as though it were a smaller canvas. So I've got some more up here, and the reason I put those is so I could show you that I could shift this out of the way up there if I wanted to, for this example anyway, to show you that, say if I'm going to work on something that's smaller. This hasn't been unwrapped yet, but this obviously would just fall between these boards that make up my easel. So to accommodate that, I have built this wood structure here that allows me to set it on my easel like that. And it sort of tends to flop forward sometimes. So that's why I keep this clamp right here hanging on the back of the easel, and then I turn it the other direction so it's not poking at me, and I can put that on there and just tighten it down a little bit. And now this is not going to fall, no matter what I wobble around with it. Now this little board, this hard board that can be painted on, it's got gesso on it, I just put tape on the back. Just roll the tape and stick it on there. And then I can place it at whatever height I want or position onto this board, push that down a little bit, and now I can work on a very small painting on this great big easel. So it's very accommodating to have this kind of a board with its slip. Because sometimes I want to just set it, maybe it's not thin like this, but maybe it's still a thicker canvas. It's got a ridge it can sit on. So that's very useful. Whatever kind of easel you have, this can be very useful to keep your palette or your canvas from wobbling, because some easels only have one bar going up the center. They have two on the side, but they aren't all lined up with each other, so you end up with this wobbling effect. So if you can put a board like this on it, maybe even screw it onto your upright, not the sliding one, but the other one, then you end up being able to more stably work on smaller canvases. All right, now as far as the business aspect of this being a workstation, I have these binders, and these binders represent different aspects of the business of being an artist. So here's one on marketing. It's for emails, magazines, newspapers, on my vehicle, my signage. Let's see, studio party. We should have more of those. Things in studio, marketing. So you can see I've got lots of tabs for different points of interest that I wanted to refer back to. And we'll be going through this kind of stuff more in other videos to help you see what I've gone through to succeed as an artist. Here's another one. This is notebook 9, other products. Here's my palette station. See, I'm going to end up making that a nice PDF file so that you can have the plans for my palette station. See, PDF plans, easel, PDF plans, frames, how I do my frames. Anyway, this is going to be very useful, not only to me, it has been, but it will be to you as well. The books I want to write. Yep, and there's more. And then look at this one. What do we have here? Photography. Oh, see, I took a series of really nice photographs of ice that I haven't done a lot in here, but because this is just kind of a new thing. But this is showing the image numbers from my phone. Anyway, that's just a little side project from not to do with painting specifically. Here's about my prints. So print pricing, here's who does my prints. Master Lab, Heath Brown's the owner, he's down in Salt Lake, does a great job for me. I'll talk to you more about printing in another video as well, but he's very useful to me. He's a great team member for my success. All right, this one's on paintings and frames. Look at this, I've got here's paintings. These are a list of paintings I've yet to do. Well, some of them have been done. They're checked off, but most of these have not been done. I've got some canvases back there and more canvases that I haven't even ordered yet because there's no use storing them around here. Here's teaching, stuff to do with my students and what I want to cover in class, all this kind of stuff. Very useful. It's just nice to keep these separate so that they don't get lost in one single binder. Square, point of purchase. That can be very complicated when you have a lot of products, prints, originals. Yeah, getting everything loaded into your square and having it in harmony with your website. Here's one on the website. My son's helped me a lot with my website. So this is actually a new binder. It's taken into 2 binders. Here's the original one that I worked with. Page flow, content, getting my cards in there, marketing and sales. Boy, oh boy, has that been a project? How to lay out your pages. How many times did we change what we thought we wanted to do there? And then here's another one, notebook. This one, I don't know what this is, just a general notebook for to-dos and working and keeping up. And if something specific comes up, then I transfer that information to one of these other pads. Here's on the studio building, things that are associated specifically to the building that I'm in and how it looks, how it works, how I sell my art in here, everything about the building itself and how it's set up and how people can respond to it. And then here's something that I'm sure you'll be interested in. This is my price book. And I am going to do at least one video on just about every page in here, one each, but kind of a little introductory page. Here's my, I don't call it a pricing page, I call it an investment page. People paintings, landscape and still life paintings. I'm going to give you more information about this for sure. How about, instead of a contract, a commission agreement? Yep, that's a 1-page contract, works great. Here's for online print orders. And here's my in-studio purchase order form. And anyway, there's lots to it. I'm going to share all that with you another time. And then we get over here and we have something different. So this folder here, this binder, this just holds a lot of forms that I just don't want to lose. If I know where they're at, they're all in this binder, then I can flip through here till I find it. But this has to do with sales tax or other tax sort of oriented things. Information that I got from a student that's on glazing. It's pretty helpful. Here's how to get into the tax account. Here's the Weaver County stuff. Here's some photographs my son thought I'd be interested in painting. Here's my business licenses, loan information from the bank. Anyway, there's just lots of just not very attractive, interesting stuff that you have to keep track of. So I do, and it's all in that folder. And then this one, I keep track of what paintings I have available. Look at that, original paintings. These are available. Well, I haven't updated this lately, but pretty much that's my original paintings. And then here's prints. High quality Jaclay reproductions and what ones are available. I could get access to these just right away because I have them. And this is just a great catalog for people to come in and see what sizes are available, what they look like, and what their prices are. So just good information to have handy. Now this one here, this is just a little leather pouch kind of binder that has nothing in it, because what I use that for is when I'm going to go meet with a client and I'm going to take his contract with me and any other related documents, I just think it looks kind of nice to go in with something that's thin and not too obtrusive, not overwhelming to them. And it looks good, and I can pull out forms that are printed on good quality paper and make an impression that's favorable. So that's in my business bookshelf here. Now this one here, this has my current contracts, my commission agreements, the most current commission taken, and then working back to the ones that are not done, but they've been in here longer than the others, so they have priority. But these are just orders that have been placed, or we're working to work out details. And so these are active orders in this binder. And then in this binder, we have orders that have been completed, commissions and sales. So here, like this one was placed online. It's an order that was placed online. Here's a commission agreement. This one has been completed. The painting's done. It's hanging their home. They're happy. Anyway, there's just lots of those, and it's good to keep track. So if you ever need more information about a particular client, you've got their name and their contact information and what they've purchased from you in the past right there. This binder right here, this one's kind of gotten full, so I've started a new one for completed jobs. I just recently did that. There's only one in there. So this is my basically business center. I call it my pallet station. So my pallet can go right down there, or it can be right here. There's my little garbage can. Here's my paper towels that work really nice. Here's my brushes, my palette knife. If I need a different palette knife, I can just reach right over here. There's more. There's different brushes for different purposes on different paintings. And then here, just kind of close at hand, I've got just a nice storage place for my paint. This buying in caulking tubes, Classic Artist Oils. I'm about to place another order with them. So this one's cobalt blue, you see. So I don't have to purchase that often because I purchase in quantities because I anticipate painting. That's what I do, I paint. And I just run a good business as a painter. So these were blues, blacks, purples, reds, orange, yellows, alizarin, and then we get down to different tones of brown. I use a lot of raw umber. Here's greens, got sap green there, got a variety of greens down in there, and then here's some extra brushes that I've purchased, and they just are available to me for when I want them. Now, another thing that I like about this palette station is I can take these little power pole knobs and put them across like that. So now they're on the front post. And I just take this dowel that I've also painted copper just to kind of go with my theme here. Put a little rubber pad on the end of it. Sort of like a maul stick. If I wanted to, I could paint with that. Put that up against there and have my brush, and I could work on the detail somewhere. But for the most part, I use it as a bridge so that when my canvas is here, and say if it's finished, I'll get this at the right level so that I can take my little tiny brush, maybe if it's a tiny painting, and I can use that bridge to steady my hand when I sign my name to the painting. So it's kind of handy to have a little bridge across there. So that's my workstation, my palette station, my business station, my easel, my painting area, my computer, because so much of the business is done on the computer. You can tell I need to clean up my screen. Boy, I've let that get cluttered. But it works really nicely. It's nice people can come into the studio and see me working and come and talk to me, visit with me, have questions, whatever they want to. So there you go. These are other projects I'm working on. So hopefully you find that really helpful. It's a great system. It's working really good for me. I'm really liking it. I just want to get that sort of roll away a little bit. I hope I'll like that. I'm sure I will. But I do have a stool. It's the right height so that I can work at that station sitting down, or I can move the stool out of the way and stand up. So you don't want to do the same thing all the time. Your feet might get sore, or your back might get sore, whatever. But it's nice to have a stool that's the right height and cushioned. But okay, so I'm going to keep coming with more useful information, more insights to how I actually practice as an artist. And I'm finding, I'm sure you'll find it interesting and useful. So please ring that Liberty Bell. I'm calling it not a notification bell, but a Liberty Bell, because I went to school at the Pennsylvania Academy of Fine Art in Philadelphia. And it's going to free you up to get good information without having to go hunt for it. It'll just come right to you. And if you'll subscribe and make comments, that'll help me help you. And share, please share. All right, have a great day. Enjoy it.